Ravens Wrap is sponsored by Bud Light, Holiday Inn Express, the Ocean City Golf Club, Comfort Inn, Russell Street Report, the original Green Turtle, and hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
In April 1959, Art Wall won the Masters, edging out Carey Middlecoff and Arnold Palmer by finishing birdie, 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 par birdie. 1 month later, Ocean City Golf Club celebrated the opening of their first 18 holes. That course has been transformed now into one of the most scenic golf layouts on the East Coast. Come experience 36 of the most beautiful and challenging holes you'll find anywhere. Ocean City Golf Club in Ocean City, Maryland.
It's another edition of the original Green Turtles Ravens Wrap Show right here on Comcast Beach TV and Delmarva's Rock Radio, home of the Ravens 93.5 The Beach. We are broadcasting from the Ravens Room here at the Blue Ox, 127th Street and Coastal Highway in Ocean City with Ravens News 44. Give yourselves a hand, guys and gals. They still show up strong, even though we had a loss. It is week number 14 of the NFL. Week number 13 for your 9-3 Baltimore Ravens coming up. We will recap the 23-20 loss to the Pittsburgh Steelers. We'll talk news and notes. We'll take a look around the AFC North and what some of the other teams did. Also, we'll preview the upcoming game against the Redskins on Sunday afternoon at 1 o'clock. We had Ravens-Steelers. We've got Ravens-Redskins this week. I'm Mike Bradley from 105.7 The Fan in Baltimore and 92.7 WGMD here in town. To my left, OC Local and former Lehigh College player John Gehrig. Welcome back, Mr. Gehrig.
Hey, John.
They're applauding this week.
They are applauding you this week. To his left, of course, Ravens News 44 member, a big Ravens fan, and a former coach, Steve Slazzo. Steve, welcome back.
All right, Steve.
And our special guest, our Redskins insider, Billy Carter from BJ's on the Water. Billy, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
Hey!
That's one ugly shirt.
Good. Starting already.
I mean, I don't know where to start exactly because I know we're going to go down a road to a certain extent of negativity on the game, and that's fair enough because there's a lot to talk about in a game that we should have had. I'll only point this out. The good news is that we're 15-0 off of losses since 2008, since Flacco's rookie year. I'll also point out that we still have a chance, a couple scenarios we'll get to later. Ravens still have a chance to clinch the AFC North on Sunday and also be eligible for the playoffs. So that's the good news. The bad news is, you know, we didn't help ourselves in securing that bye for the playoffs. It's still an opportunity, that second seed that is in the AFC. You know, you take a look at it, you're facing Charlie Batch, third-string quarterback, John. You're facing an offensive line that was really reshuffled. They ended up starting a rookie right tackle. There was talk about Castro coming back as a rookie at right guard, making his start. That didn't happen. They reshuffled the line. Doug Legursky at center. They moved Pouncey to left guard. It was a shuffled offensive line for the Steelers who hadn't played together. It's at home. We had a big winning streak. 15 straight games we had won at home, 12 straight against the AFC North. And, you know, we had, a 10-point lead, and it all just kind of collapsed.
Collapsed in the fourth quarter, and I have to say, I mean, I was there. I'm a fan, but it's the loudest place. When the bank rocks, it's really rocking, but that was eerily, mysteriously quiet. And I don't know what was going on. It was a weird vibe, and we just didn't. Hey, look, it was a complete breakdown. A lot of the offense is getting a lot of the blame on this one, but. You know, when you're playing against Charlie Batch, you have a fourth quarter lead, and they control the ball, and they got the ball with 6.5 minutes to go, and they took all the time off the clock. We had 2 minutes of possession or something like that in the fourth quarter. You know, the defense deserves their fair share. So there's blame all the way around, Steve.
I definitely, I didn't see it coming. I'm sitting there in the stands. I'm like, okay, we're going to pull this out like we always do. Going to pull it out in the end, and then all of a sudden it happened. I was like, oh my God. we're going to lose this game. I really did not see it coming. And I definitely, you hear Flacco interviewed after, and he's like, I was thinking maybe I should have just protected this ball.
No,
yeah,
hold
maybe
on.
you should have.
First of all, it's see, kind of, maybe, probably, we should have. Maybe I look at it, sort of, kind of. Let me think about it. Next question. That's Flacco.
That definitely was Flacco. You're very good.
Billy, from an outsider's point of view, what did you see in this Ravens-Steelers game that you thought was the difference in the Steelers pulling it out at M&T Bank Stadium?
I didn't watch it. No, I wonder why you don't run Ray Rice when I think, and most of you people are going to think I'm not telling the truth here, but I think he's the best back in NFL. And what did he carry, 12 times?
12
for the
times.
whole game?
Yeah.
If you got somebody back there, if he played for the Redskins, he'd be carrying it like 30 times. We did it with Larry Brown. We ran him in the ground in like 2 years, and he was done. But how do you have a guy back there and not use him? It didn't make any sense. And when you needed him, you didn't.
Well,
use
we
him.
paid him, so now we're not going to use him.
Yeah. Well, I hope that's not the case, but it seems like I know from talking to Ravens fans, and I have a lot of them that are friends of mine. It seems like Cam Cameron isn't like the most popular guy in town anymore, right?
I don't think he's been popular probably since year 2.
Well, I don't think he was that popular with people who were in places where he was before he came to Baltimore. I don't think he was ever really. I was kind of surprised when the Ravens hired him, but he's been there how many years now? Just
into his 5th.
Yeah, he's been there a while. So maybe it's time.
Yeah, say too long.
Yeah.
Well, let's go back. We could start that. That's certainly one of the bullet points here of the game is Ray Rice, just 12 carries in the football game. When you take a look after I believe the Ed Reed interception, that it was a big point in the game as the Steelers were driving on that series. John, Ed Reed intercepts Batch in the end zone. The Ravens get the ball back here. And you've got a 1st and 10, 7 minutes, 24 seconds on the clock. So needing to get some first downs to milk it down. There's still a lot of time left on the clock. But, we had that pass to Devontae Leach in the flats. We got 12 yards on that. It was good play action. Got defense flowing one way. You threw them into the flats on the other side. Got 12 yards. But then 1st and 10 at the 32. A deep pass to Torrey Smith. Incomplete. Incomplete to Tandon Doss on 2nd down. Incomplete to Pitta on 3rd down. So it's 4th and 10, and you're punting the ball away. And you've eaten very little clock and really not gotten the ball at least once to Ray Rice, who had 0 carries in the 4th quarter.
I've been saying this. I don't know what else you want me to say.
0.
I've been saying this all season long. We're coming off a week where Ray Rice had 30 touches. Now he gets 13 total touches. Leach, I don't know if there's ever been a game where Devontae Leach had more receptions than Ray Rice. But it's just it's a crime, really. I don't know what to say. This is a situation where one of the best players in the league we're not using. I think it goes to the arrogance of wanting to throw the ball. We have such an identity crisis that we were ground and pound. We were in your face and beat you up and punch you in the face. We're like the ugly girl in the room, you know what I mean? And now we want to be a Barbie doll and all made up and be the prettiest dumb girl in the room. And that's really what we are. We're the dumbest, this dumb blonde in the back of the room that everyone's looking at, and you get to talk to her, and gosh, she's dumb. You forget how pretty she is. But we want to throw it and sling it. Well, guess what? Our quarterback can't complete a pass. So we run no time off the clock and give him a chance to win the game.
Steve, if you dig a little bit deeper into this, there's never one thing that is usually the difference in the game. It's usually a couple different things. You look early on in the game, Joe was really off in that game. They tried to go deep to Torrey Smith a few times. He had some drops, but they very easily could have had another touchdown. I shouldn't say easily, but they could have had another touchdown, maybe 10 points on the board if Joe's more accurate, if Torrey makes a catch. So, it's not just Cam and his play calling, it's also lack of execution at times as well.
No, I think we were exposed for, all of our weaknesses at once. But, I put a lot of the blame on the NFL schedulers. When we saw the schedule come out and you had to go to Pittsburgh, then you had to go cross country to San Diego, then you have to come back and play the same team you played 2 weeks ago. Granted, both teams are doing the same thing, and we were out-coached, and, our big players didn't make plays at crunch time. I hate to throw it on Joe, but Joe stunk the place up.
You're going to blame the schedulers?
There were 3 plays that were very, very bad. And when he took the sack, that was terrible. There was another play where he could have run for 30 yards, and instead he throws up a Hail Mary. And, you expect your quarterback to perform at big times.
Yeah, I guess, Billy, you guys in D.C. having RG3 this year, the quarterback makes all the difference. And certainly for the Ravens, Joe Flacco has made a huge difference for this organization over the years. But you wonder, from an outsider, has he kind of leveled off? Is he hit his ceiling as far as his talent level? It looks like that may be the case.
Yeah. See, I'm not as critical of Flacco. I don't watch it like you guys do. I know you watch every play, and I sometimes don't get to see every play. But sure. I always thought Flacco. I thought he was a pretty good quarterback. And I guess he has some bad games, but I think generally speaking, I think he's up there with the majority of the National Football League quarterbacks. I like him. I'm also got a team that we haven't had a quarterback since Sonny Jurgensen.
That's right, right now.
That's his helmet right here. But we've been waiting a long time. Now it finally looks like we may have one. And so far, it looks like we do, but who knows? But boy, we're used to having a new quarterback every 4 or 5 weeks. And you're lucky to have a guy. He's been there 5, 6 years now, maybe more than that.
Into his fifth
year. Yeah. But I think he's a pretty good quarterback. I've seen him, man. He's got a cannon for an arm, man.
He's
and
pretty
he's
good
got
for
good
you.
Receivers.
It's pretty good for you.
Yeah. We can't wait to see him.
No. Well, John, you take a look at this a little bit. I think that the Ravens have certainly, and we've talked about this a lot, have needed to expand their passing game, get better personnel, be able to be more explosive. But I think obviously the pendulum swung way too far to the other side with that. And again, if you look the pass-to-run ratio, and I have to look it up again, but I've brought it up in a couple of different plays. We're throwing the ball on average about, I want to say, 11 to 12 more times per game. Again, I think with Cam, it's, hey, I'm for having explosive offense, and I'm for even maybe throwing the ball a little bit more than running the ball, but not 60-40, not 70-30. It's got to be, I think, the Ravens like at 55-45. And I know you're not going to be that perfect every game. Defenses dictate to a certain extent. I think I will agree with this. We came out, we threw the ball 6 straight times. But when Palomalu's up there and there's 8 men in the box, they got the #1 run defense. I've got no problem throwing the ball to set up the run. But certainly as the game went on, we got further and further away from that run game.
You need to attack the weaknesses. I had no problem coming out throwing the ball. And you just need to balance it out. And when, with our first running play was on a first down after we threw the ball a few times. And it was so predictable that we were going to come out and run it. But you mix up the play action. After the Steelers scored, and then Ray and Pierce was carving them up too. So we had some momentum in the running game. The offensive line was blocking pretty well. Ray Rice peeled off the touchdown run plus another couple 10-yard carries after that, I believe. I just don't get why we didn't stick to it. But you're going to win the games running the football, and especially with a quarterback who's struggling. It's one of these things where he's got to complete this one, right? He missed so many passes in a row. He's got to complete this one, right? Well, no, he doesn't have to complete this one. And it's not bad play calling. He calls the plays. He snaps the ball. So by default, he's calling the play. He can change the play at any time. So it doesn't matter what Cam does. He's the guy with the ball in his hand. He's the guy in the huddle. He's the guy at the line of scrimmage. It's him.
All right. Well, he's got more control this year than he's had before. So
either he has the keys or he doesn't.
He doesn't.
Keep saying.
He has more keys than he has before. We'll pick up the conversation. More to come here. It is the Ravens Wrap Show on Comcast Speech TV and Delmarva's Rock Radio, home of the Ravens, 93.5 The Beach. We're back.
Ravens Wrap is sponsored by Bud Light, Holiday Inn Express, the Ocean City Golf Club, Comfort Inn, Russell Street Report, the original Green Turtle, and hosted by the Blue Ox Bar and Grill.
Welcome to the Comfort Inn Gold Coast. Conveniently located just 1 block from the beach and adjacent to shopping at the Gold Coast Mall and the movie theater. Newly renovated and open year-round with a marvelous bayfront view. Visit us on the web at comfortgoldcoast.com and see our hot deals and great golf packages, or simply call our direct reservation line to plan your stay.